Greetings, my fellow normies. This is Artemis. This is a review of Ozark on Netflix, Season 3, spoiler review. I've given you a pause of 10 seconds to stop this video so I don't spoil any of it for you. Alright, so I've given you enough time and warning. So, the ending of this episode was pretty shocker. The reason I'm starting out with the ending and stuff is I'm just trying a different format and stuff like that. So please excuse me. I'm trying to do a bullet point here and stuff. I'm trying a lot of different things and stuff. I just did Mandalorian episode 2 review and stuff, and now I'm doing Ozark season 3. So I'm putting a whole season into one video, and it's only going to be about 20 minutes long. I don't want to go rambling on and on, but I just want to get into this. I found this show. I've got Netflix, of course, and as we're all stuck inside and can't really go anywhere and stuff, I'm looking for new stuff to watch. And I'm a huge fan of Jason Bateman, and he's the main star of Ozark and stuff. And I started watching it. So I've been watching it for the last 3 weeks. And I'm sorry that I haven't done season 1 and season 2, and maybe I will. But I want to do season 3 and just kind of give you a rundown of it and stuff, and go into it from here. But this season opens where the birds, the main characters and stuff, Marty and his wife control the money laundering scheme that's coming out of the Missouri Belle, which is a paddle boat in which they're going to do, casinos and laundering money and stuff like that. So, during all of this, they're doing their usual money laundering and so on and so forth and stuff like that. But there's a lot of side stories that are going in multiple directions. Like, Marty's wife's brother shows up, and we don't learn very much about him, but apparently he's running from a warrant from another state and so on and so forth. And during all of this too as well, he becomes romantically involved with Ruth. And during all of this, he starts they become sexually active, and he can't perform correctly and stuff like that due to some medications he's on. Well, we discovered that he's got multi-personality or something, but not sure if it's multi-personality disorder or bipolar or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But he's got some mental health issues and stuff. And I thought this was kind of a good side story and stuff, because I can relate, because myself, I have PTSD myself, not from the military, but from military contracting overseas and stuff like that. And I really appreciate it when it's done well. And the actor, I don't know who he is, but really portrayed the mental illness very well and stuff like that. I've seen this in other shows. Sometimes it's a hit and miss, but they really got this really good, and it played into the fold of the entire season and stuff like that, because his irrational thoughts got the birds in a lot of trouble with the Navarro cartel, to Helen, which is the attorney for the Navarro cartel and helping out the birds on multiple fronts. Her daughter is with her, and as such, her daughter doesn't know anything about this lifestyle that her mom is involved in and stuff like that. Well, they subsequently get the brother committed to a hospital, and and this it's really sad and stuff like that, because I can relate in a lot of ways, and it's very scary situation. to be put somewhere against your will and stuff. And they get him out. And the first thing he does, he goes to Helen, and her daughter's with her. And he literally threatens her, and then tells her daughter that your mother is the attorney for the biggest drug cartel in Mexico, and all this stuff, and about murders and all this other stuff. And it's kind of at the tail end of the season, but it was leading up to it, where it was going, and so on and so forth. And it it really, really, it's very, very well done. I can't say that enough. And I say that in part because, like I said, I've got PTSD, so it's very hard to manage sometimes, especially with the situation I'm going through right now. I don't have my regular routine and stuff like that. I have to go to I go to the gym, I go to therapy, I go to meditation at a local monastery for Buddhists and stuff like that, and all that. And it takes a lot. So later on in the season, his sister, um, Marty Bird's wife, um, uh, that's her brother. He is whisked away because Helen is going to literally kill him or have him killed and stuff. And during this, they go on this like road trip for a few days and stuff to get away from Helen. And Helen is talking to Marty in regards to where do you take her, and all this, what I'm saying, and stuff. There's just so much going on. And in the end of it, not the end of the season, but or end of the episodes, but um, on as much times as he can, he's trying to get a hold of Helen and stuff like that. And Helen's trying to figure out where they're at so he can send Nelson, her guard, to go and kill him. And so Marty's wife, during all of this and stuff, um, the wife's name is Wendy and stuff. And I apologize. I was having a brain fart in that regard, but she finally gets to the point where she's all, I can't do this anymore, and it's very tiring for someone and stuff. But he got off his medication, and you get off the medication and you spiral, and that's what he was doing. And he wouldn't get back on his meds and so on and so forth. And he was doing everything he can to put Marty and Wendy's children at risk of the cartel and Helen and stuff. And I really, really, it's heartbreaking and stuff. She had to walk away and let Helen know where they were at, and Nelson came and found him because she left him at this restaurant, and they killed him. So, but and that kind of ends the season in that regard. But I wanted to kind of give you some context in that regard. So we're going to kind of shift here a little bit, and so um, so I was talking about how Wendy's brother Ben um, exposed Helen's daughter uh, to the situation and stuff like that. Um, there was always this theme that the kids were off limits no matter what. Even the kids of Wendy and Marty and stuff like that um, cornered Helen's daughter and told her, look, you can't say a word, blah 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 blah, what I'm saying, and all that. And it just didn't work out that way, what I'm saying. And so that's how all this kind of really spiraled out of control. And Helen's like losing her mind and talking to Marty and saying, if we don't find Ben, you know how this is gonna go, no matter what. And Marty knows what that means. So and then if we're and then talking about Ben further and stuff like that, he had a relationship with Ruth, the redneck from the woods, basically, that Marty's been using and teaching how to money launder and all this stuff, And she fell in love with Ben and what they did and the killing of her father in season 2 and all this stuff. It's just coming to a head and stuff. She will later on in the season quit and go work for Darlene in her poppy fields and all that to make meth and all that. And that's a whole story out to itself there. So, but Darlene in season 2, she killed her husband and stuff because he was going to kill her. And they're in cahoots with the Navarro cartel and the paddle boat and the casino because it's Percy on their land and all this. So so they um, from there there's this weird dynamic, another side story about Darlene and Wyatt. Wyatt is the cousin of Ruth, and he's like I think 19, probably 20 years old, and Darlene is probably in her late 50s, and they're banging each other. So all this, so it's some redneck shit. So it's some weird stuff going on there. So, but it is what it is. But so during the season 2, Marty is taken hostage by the cartel, the Navarro cartel during the season and stuff like that because they think that Helen and Wendy can run the operation without Marty, and they stuff him in a hole and they kind of do some psychological warfare on him with loud music, keeping him up all night, barely feeding him, keeping him in this location and stuff. Well, during all of this, um, and what triggered all this from happening is that Helen, or not Helen, I'm sorry, but Wendy, Marty's wife, wanted to get another casino. Well, something happened with the competition of another casino on the water and stuff like that. He took it upon himself to contact the Kansas City cartel, or not cartel, but mob, to blow up this competing casino that they were about to buy. Well, it kind of backfired a little bit, and getting a second casino under them and stuff triggered an audit by the FBI. And as such, Marty was kind of taken hostage in regards to all that, and because of his wife, Wendy, and stuff. And so the FBI comes in on this whole situation and stuff like that, and just makes things 10 times more complicated and stuff. But the thing is with the FBI agent Mia, that's a part of this side story too as well, is that she somehow does some red flagging on the finances on the computer system that Marty runs all the time. And as such, she triggers something on purpose to try and save Marty's life and stuff, in which the Navarro cartel lead guy and stuff like that takes him out of the dungeon and has him fix the issue. And in all of this, he fixes it, and then he asks him what does he want and stuff like that. And he eventually, tells him, "Look, I'm gonna flip a FBI agent and stuff, so that I can do more and launder more money and all that stuff." So eventually, he's returned and stuff unharmed and all this stuff, and the FBI, think they can turn Marty and all this stuff against the cartel and all that stuff because they see he's really good in what he's doing and he would make a great asset to the FBI. Yeah, we all know about the FBI in the U.S., don't we? And who and what they really are. So, and all the while, there's some more other like side stories going on too since this season and stuff like that, where Marty and Wendy are going to this counselor that's local and stuff like that. Well, they find out that they've both been paying her off to kind of side with one another and stuff like that in a session and stuff. And they accidentally go off on each other and they let out all of it in front of the counselor. Well, later on, she kind of blackmails Marty. Marty asks her, how much money you want, blah, 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 stuff like that. So Marty pays her and stuff like that. A couple days later, she rolls up in a some type of sports car. I can't remember what it is exactly and all that, but it throws up red flags for Helen, the attorney for the Navarro cartel and stuff, and her bodyguard Nelson takes out the freaking counselor and stuff, and kills her and dumps the car and all this. And it's flashy yellow, like a Maserati or a I don't know, Lamborghini or something like that. I can't remember what it's called or anything like that. So, but in the end of all of this and all that, it comes down to between the birds, Marty and Wendy, and Helen and Navarro, the head of the Navarro cartel and stuff like that. It kind of comes full circle in regards to how they kind of, Navarro is losing this war against this competing this cartel that's in Mexico and stuff like that. And I discussed early on in regards to like how, early on there was some strife between the two, the blowing up of a truck that was transporting money for the money laundering to the casino and stuff like that. I believe I said that. I'm not sure. I apologize if I did. But during all of this, and getting back to the Ben character and stuff like that, he was worried about Ruth and about this drop and stuff like that. And the son of Marty and Wendy had a drone and he put it up and he watched the entire thing unfold and stuff in live video and stuff. Well, um, because of this competing interest between Navarro, the birds, and Helen, they all are kind of working against each other and stuff like that because of a competing and understanding and all this BS, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And during all of that, they um eventually they would show this footage to the FBI and stuff like that. Well, Marty somehow tricked the FBI agent Mia into and Marty inadvertently said, "Look, I got captured by this cartel, stuff like that. That means you can trigger the U.S. military to go after that cartel and stuff like that, which would wipe out Navarro's freaking enemies, stuff like that." And the episode ends in regards to um, Helen, Marty, Wendy all getting on a plane to Mexico to see Navarro and bring his kids back and to have his other son by his girlfriend baptized and stuff like that. Well, when he's getting on the plane, the FBI agent is warning him not to get on the plane and stuff like that because apparently Helen said that Marty flipped and was getting a deal by the FBI and stuff like that. So he throws it off and he gets on the plane. They get to Navarro's and stuff like that. Navarro meets his kids again and stuff like that. The next car pulls up, he walks up and stuff like that. Nelson, the bodyguard of Helen, walks up behind her and blows her brains out, right all over Marty and Wendy. And the episode just ends right there and stuff. And that was the end of season 3 and stuff. My final thoughts are that I really, really enjoyed this show and stuff like that. And stuff. There's a lot of dynamics. There's a lot of issues, a lot of areas, that you might not think about, and And I just can't say how much I really like the show. I mean, I really was appealed to it because of Jason Bateman and stuff. The cast is really good and stuff, and all that. There's a lot of really good main characters and stuff. Season one, season two, and season three, they're all 10 episodes. Um, God, I really want more, but I really like the 10 episode situation and stuff. What I don't really care for anymore is the binging, stuff like that. So I watch an episode a night or two episodes a night and stuff like that, but I can't just sit and binge, and all that. But I'd say in conclusion, I'm hoping that we hear a renewal for season four. They kind of, left it off of, what's next, what I'm saying, and all that. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you like this format and stuff, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. I know this is kind of a weird, awkward format and stuff like that. I'm just trying to find my legs and seeing what works and stuff. So please share, subscribe, like, um, and I will be talking to you next Thursday once again on something else. If there's anything that you want me to review or discuss or something, let me know. Um, I'm trying to put out a couple videos every week and stuff like that. I'm doing only voice right now because I don't want to show my face and stuff like that. Besides that, it's a little hard for my situation. So, and all that. But I really appreciate you watching, and I want to thank you for watching. And take care. And check out Ozarks on Netflix. Thank you. Have a good night. Live long and prosper.